Happy Ball, though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hook Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the game between the Washington Redskins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and how we had a great turnaround season. We talk about the quarterback situation going into next year, and much, much more, live with Aaron, Josh, and John. Yo, what's up, y'all?
What's up? Yo, what's happening?
Excellent.
Dude,
Woo.
it's Josh.
Dude, what's up? What's happening?
Dude, show the people who are watching.
Otherwise,
Show the people, who are people who are watching us what you got on your hat.
check this out.
This is
a hand painted somewhere from the Delmarva Peninsula. Literally, I was coming down the Eastern Shore. I had been up to, I don't know, Baltimore or somewhere, and decided to come down the shore. And lo and behold, in one of those little towns, like Onancock or somewhere, I don't know, is that it? What is it called? Only. Onancock. We'll go with Onancock. It rolls off. It rolls off a little bit better.
Maybe it's like West Onancock.
It was in West Onancock where therefore I did spy a thrift store and was like, that place looks kind of thrifty. I was actually looking for a piece of mid-century furniture. So I go into this place and lo and behold, this hat is sitting there. And I was like thinking, thrift store is 50 cents for this hat. And I pull it up and there's no price. I'm like, how much for this hat? And they were like, well, that's a special hat because it's hand painted by like a local artist around here. And it's like hand painted on the hat. And so it broke the bank that day. It was $3 whole.
That's crazy.
So anyway, I have this old school trucker hat, hand painted, only one like it.
I can't say I've ever seen that anywhere else. But here on Harry Hog Football.
You saw it first right here.
And you wear that all the time. Don't forget that time
every day.
When we were at the game when Josh was like painting his face ready to go into the stadium and like the news crew just like sticks their lights into the truck and Josh is like putting on lipstick.
We're like painting our face and the news crew like sticks the camera and the light like right into the truck.
That was the one I went with Jamie, man.
Yeah, what game
I don't think
was
I
that?
had this hat on though.
No, you didn't have it back then.
No. I don't remember what game that was.
What is that? Josh,
we lost though.
Are you trying to watch like The Masked Singer while we're doing this? I hear something in the background.
Dude, where's that coming? Where's that coming from?
It's not coming from me.
It's definitely not coming from me.
It's coming from you, Josh.
It's not coming from me. It's like somebody's on a telephone or something.
If somebody's not muted in the live podcast room, it's Sean, the injury specialist.
Oh, no!
Mute yourself, fool.
Sean, mute that mic.
Come on, Sean.
I was about to say, it sounded like a television commercial.
Sean, quit watching The Masked Singer while you're listening to the podcast. Oh my gosh.
Sean's like, and if you order now, you'll get not one, but 2 shake weights for the price of one.
Anyway, I brought down the Discord volume.
That's why Josh is so good on here, because that's where we get to try and cast a store when, rid of poo, stuff like that. Now we have a new commercial, shake weights.
Yeah, we're going to have the
shake weight Washington football team edition.
We are going to have a
That's like do you remember the stadium, the graphic that used to play?
Oh, yeah. Aaron and I were talking about that still this year. It's third down.
Third down and 1.
Doo-doo, doo-doo. All right.
We can't play that
I think we
music
just
anymore.
lost like 3 of the 4 viewers that we have. Excellent.
Dude, we can't play that music anymore because YouTube has these like very stringent copyright infringement things, and they'll be like, copyright strike. You
That's a
played
strike.
the Nacho music song from the stadium, which is owned by Sony Entertainment or whoever.
But dude, you know what you can play?
You know what I can play? Oh, I know what I can play. Our new
What?
It's our new celebration music. Too bad we lost. But we're still celebrating a great turnaround from the 3-13 season we had last year, when all the pundits said we wouldn't win more than 5 games this season. Not only did we win more than 5,
We
but
won
we won
7.
the division. And we won the division.
We won 7.
We won 7. We won
By
more than
by
double.
some strange default of horrible teams, we won the division.
Dude, if we had like not even a competent quarterback, because I mean Alex Smith was a competent quarterback, but he's got to reconstruct the leg. It's just falling apart on him.
If we had a healthy quarterback.
If we had a healthy quarterback, if Kyle didn't break his ankle, and if Taylor Heineke doesn't get hurt every time he goes into a game,
Dude, think about this. Think about our quarterback situation compared to the rest of the division. All right, we had 4. 4, is that it? 4 quarterbacks? 5 if you count Logan Thomas coming in for a few plays.
Not true. That's a wow. Okay.
But anyway, 4
forgot
quarterbacks.
about that. Oh, yeah.
The rest of the division, all right, Dallas had Dak. And who was their backup? The venerable Andy Dalton.
The Ginger Ninja.
Ninja.
The
Ginger
Eagles
Ninja, man.
supposedly had Carson Wentz, who they'd paid hundreds of millions of dollars to be their franchise guy for a while. And then all of a sudden they had their backup, Jalen Hurts, taken in, I think, the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, by the way,
Which, by the way, Doug Peterson's gone.
oh yeah,
I saw
Doug
that.
Peterson got fired. Jim Schwartz, the guy who coached the loser Detroit Lions the year they did not win a game, stepped down, quote unquote. All right, Carson Wentz, next year is going to be $25 or $35 million cap hit, depending on timing due to contracted bonus. I don't know what that means.
I called it.
Jalen Hurts has an $883,000 cap hit in 2021. $883,000 salary cap hit. Josh called it.
Josh called it.
I called
So
it.
Jalen Hurts is a lot
I think
cheaper.
Wentz will be back, though. I think Wentz will be back.
It's going to be a
for the
quarterback
Eagles.
competition up in Philly. You know,
gonna be a
and that
quarterback
state,
competition
Pennsylvania,
up in-
that the Redskins. I mean, sorry, the Washington football team apparently broke this season between the Eagles and the Steelers.
Wait, you mean
yeah.
we swept the entire
We
state?
broke the Steelers.
We swept the state.
We swept the state.
I know,
Simple
but
as
we
that.
completely destroyed and broke the Steelers. Like after we broke the Steelers, that was it. I mean, you saw what happened. They just lost everything else.
We actually had like a game plan, and people were probably looking at our game plan, going, "Man, it's kind of nice to see they have a game plan there now that Club J's gone." And
Club J.
they'd say, "Look at the game plan. Oh, this is what they're going to do."
All right. So do we want to talk about – so anyway, my point was the rest of the NFC East had a better quarterback situation, and we were still able to win the division.
Right.
You know why? Because our team has heart.
And you got to have heart.
You got to have
Miles and miles of heart.
Well, I will say, you have to attribute a lot of this to Ron Rivera coming in, I think, and making a huge culture change this year. And I feel like all the players, regardless of their skill level, everyone seemed to love to work for Ron Rivera and rally around him. And of course, we were facing I don't want to sound like the broken record commentators that you hear on the games every week, but such adversity, across the board for our Washington football team, from the level of the coach all the way down to Alex Smith and what he went through and blah 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 blah. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I just feel like, Ron Rivera coming in and changing that culture really did a lot for us this season. And it made me feel hopeful
at the end of this season, regardless of how we ended up, but
the only thing,
we'll
and I don't know how much of a choice he had in this situation. The only thing that I thought he could have done to better push home that changing of culture front is if when Dwayne Haskins had the stripper gate, he just when Dwayne Haskins had the stripper gate, he just would have cut him.
Wait,
instead of waiting a week. Instead of waiting a week. But
you think he should have waited? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think he should have just cut him right away. He had already.
I think that was Dan Snyder, because Dan Snyder's the man who picked him.
Yeah,
it
totally.
came down from the top.
I don't think that was Ron Rivera at all. I think that, like you said, John, I think that was Dan Snyder.
Yeah, and it might have been Rivera being like, all right, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be one more, piece of ammunition, a big piece of ammunition, when you're just like, Dan Snyder, you cannot pick any more draft picks with this team. You just need to stay out of the office. Don't call. Don't come over.
Just collect the checks. Collect the checks when everybody
pay us to
money.
be football specialists.
Right.
You run the team.
Don't come over. Don't come by.
Don't
text
come
me.
over.
Don't call me. Don't send a letter. Everyone else's name is object. Something screwed up with the Discord feed coming into OBS, and I don't know what it is, but you can see what it is.
Yes.
It's just,
it is yours.
Yes, hail to the object to the object. LO object L. Your object is fine on mine.
I object.
Object. What does that say? It's really tiny on my screen. Object. Everyone object is object.
You know what I think it is? I got this window that popped up. This window popped up today, and it said, "There's an update for OBS Studio." I was like, "Okay, update." And then it was like waiting for OBS to close so that I can update, and then it wouldn't close, and it just kept doing.
What does SM object H mean?
Shake my head.
Shake my
object head. Shake my object.
Anyway, let's talk about some more objectionable.
What?
The game. Let's get into the game.
Yeah. Heineke.
Oh yeah.
Heineke.
Heineke.
A bunch of you out there finally were able to see what people in the greater Hampton Roads area knew about for 4 years at ODU. Taylor Heineke is a baller. He's a baller. But he's injury prone.
He looked solid until he got hurt.
But he's injury prone, dude.
That's why it's been on.
Do you think he's just soft? Like maybe he just hasn't gotten hit enough. You know what I mean? It's like he hasn't really had that much time to play. They're not really hitting him in practice. When's the last time he really took hits?
He didn't get hit very much in college. In college, they had a very, very, very offensive, pass-oriented team at ODU. They were scoring usually like 50-plus points on many weekends when he was the quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I think, honestly, they got to figure out a way, like some of these quarterbacks that don't get many snaps and don't get much playing time, they got to get them hit. I'm sorry, it sounds weird, but, like, they need to take some hits because – if you're not used to getting hit like that, like your body, it's a shock to your body. And when your body is in shock, instead of like understanding how to absorb those hits and how to, react and relax to them as opposed to tensing up and, doing all that, that's when you get hurt. And I feel like these quarterbacks don't get hit enough.
Well, let's talk about Heineke, dude. Let's compare his performance to Tom Brady's. Tom Brady had two touchdowns, 381 yards, 22 of 40. Heineke, 26 of 44 for 306 yards. He actually had more completions on four more passes. 4 more completions on 4 more passes than Brady, and for only about 75 yards less and 1 more pick. But you know what Heineke added?
He was sacked once less.
Yeah. You know what Heineke added that Brady did not have?
Elusiveness.
46 yards and a touchdown, a rushing touchdown.
Did you guys see? And on social media, there was all these pictures going around about Heineke, and it was a picture of him at ODU, a picture of him when he played for the Vikings, and a picture of him in that game. And all 3 were him going horizontal with the football in his hands, going right for the pile.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, I
like
saw
his
that.
signature move. It's like he goes home and practices that. Like you go to his backyard and there's just like pylons like all over the place. And he's like, hey guys, you guys want to run the pylon gauntlet with me? And it's basically just him like diving from pylon to pylon, practicing that move.
You got a lot of pylons back here, dude.
What Heineke did in that game, is what Haskins tried to do in his last game, where he just kept ducking and turning around and coming back. But when Haskins did it, it was like phantom people trying to tackle him. Remember?
Right? Oh, yeah. There was no one there. He was just like, whoa. And you turn a 180 and you're just like, what is he doing?
What's he doing?
Someone just like, I'm about to hit you.
But Heineke ducked under those dudes and ran
under
for the
all
touchdown.
these people like doing like this, and he would just like squirt out and come around, and it was like,
Just
how
the plus
did he get out of that? Yeah,
The plus side of being a little like skinny guy.
Dude, that guy just went out and went balls to the wall. He just
Total baller.
he deserves a invite to camp next year. And apparently
he really only had one questionable pass. I mean, it was like in that game. I mean, and it wasn't like
the one that got
horrible.
picked.
We would have said it was horrible if it actually got picked. But aside from that, I don't remember seeing another bad pass. What?
He
And on his pick, it was tipped.
It was tipped. It wasn't like totally his fault.
Well, he threw it into the dude's hand, but
Yeah. Yeah, really.
it's not my fault if the guy reached up and touched
Whoops.
it.
Dude, that happens. That happens so quickly when you're throwing and a guy's hand coming up at the same time. I mean,
But what about Cam Sims in the end zone dropping that?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I lost your sound for a second.
Oh yeah.
Cam Sims, who was his target all night long. Cam Sims had what, 7 receptions, 104 yards on the. He was targeted 13 times.
Yeah.
13 times.
He's a
talking
big guy.
about the bomb.
They should be throwing to him.
I mean, Logan Thomas, bigger guy, right? Logan Thomas is bigger than Cam Sims. I mean, Logan Thomas was targeted 9 times, and but then you look at McLaurin. He was only targeted 7 times on the day, and I started thinking about that, and I was like,
It's because Cam Sims. I was telling Aaron before, the Cam Sims was a lot more dynamic in that game because Terry McLaurin still had that ankle injury, so it was he was limited. He was doing the best he could, but he was less than 100%. He still had 7 catches.
Yeah, but he dropped the big one, dude. It was right in his hands. It was earlier in the game. It would have given us the lead over Tampa probably, or at least we would have been almost in field goal range if I remember correctly, if he didn't break away with it. He just dropped it. It was right there. It was a perfectly thrown ball.
oh yeah, it was like,
Heineke was just looking at him like, seriously.
he did that stare down look like what,
Yeah.
He didn't quite have the intensity of the stare that Tom Brady gets when something goes not his way.
No, Tom Brady's just got that look of
He
death,
throws little
man.
fits, man. He threw a little fit a few times in this game.
He did. He threw like a little. I know, man. I wouldn't want to be like. What if Giselle's like, no, I don't want steak tonight, Tom. I'd rather go for sushi. And he's like, and she's like, who makes the money in this household?
Stooges!
I'm tired of sushi, Tom. Whatever else he has.
But yeah, Cam Sims, and the other thing about McLaurin, I was thinking about this. I kept trying to watch because they were double covering McLaurin. Like you looked at it, there was quite a bit of that going on, and I felt like he just wasn't open because I felt like Heineke, was really, he seemed really solid at like making his reads. Like he would know where everybody was, make the reads. And I feel like if he saw McLaurin as an opportunity, he wasn't just going to bypass that. I just feel like McLaurin wasn't open. Whereas Cam Sims was sort of he's open, or he's making himself get open, or I don't know. They seem to click for sure.
I think a lot of it was that Terry McLaurin was getting double teamed. Logan Thomas was getting double teamed, but we kept throwing to Cam Sims so much that they shifted that over towards Cam Sims with double coverage. That's why Logan Thomas came on stronger in the second half.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jeremy Sprinkle caught a pass somewhere. I don't even remember that pass.
I didn't even realize.
Sprinkle?
I did see him playing at one point.
I saw him in there. He's usually in there on special teams. And when they have 3 tight ends. Now.
Yeah.
Guys, we only had 86 yards of rushing in this game. And Heineke had 46 of those 86 yards.
Oh, we didn't even we couldn't run at all against that defense. That was just they just shut it down.
That front four of Tampa Bay is one of the best in the league.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they shut it down made us one-dimensional, and Heineke was still able to do what he did in this game is pretty amazing in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because if any of our other quarterbacks, if Alex Smith was in there, dude, I hate to say it, but it would have been a repeat of the week before, like maybe worse. Like he can't move. He can't move.
I think Alex Smith is hurt worse than they've put out. I think it's gonna come out eventually. He's hurt worse than they're saying.
And I feel like we definitely needed his leadership when he came in to do that, and he was able to come in and like give it his all for those games. But I think you're probably right. He is way more hurt than maybe they're saying, and he came in at a time when we needed him to come in and do what he did, and honestly, I felt like we needed to see Heineke do what he did in this last game. I mean, we didn't win the game. Our season ended, but it was. It was one of the most exciting performances I've seen from a Washington quarterback in a really long time. So
I think you're exactly right. And Aaron, this actually is a good question for you. If you want to compare like Heineke in this game to like Kyle Allen earlier in the year, because he's more of a mobile quarterback, he runs around some. Your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, dude, you know me. I can't remember what Kyle Allen did, but yes, he was more mobile. But still, if you think about it, we didn't start winning until Alex Smith got in there and he was healthy. He was running the offense. And it's just, I think if Alex Smith was healthy, we probably would have won this game, I got to say. But he wasn't. And then Heineke... I mean, at first I was really afraid when Montez was going to have to come in. He finished this game with a separated shoulder, dudes. AC joint. Heineke.
Heineke did. His AC joint was popped out.
Was it really? I was wondering. I meant to look today to see what it actually was, and I didn't realize that's what it was.
Dr. Aaron went in there and popped it back in.
I guess Yeah, I think you're right. I think Dr. Death, she like ran back there to the locker room. It's just like, just grabbing it. It's just like, hold still. Bam.
She's like, here, bite down on this pylon.
And then she just pops it in, gives him a shot of something, sends him back out to the field. And he's like, no way, Montez. This is my chance.
Gives him a shot of tequila.
Montez is like, I've been here all year though, dude. Why do you get a chance? You just got here 3 weeks ago. It's like
he got like totally psyched up, dude. I'm like watching that guy, and he went from like being afraid to being like, okay, this is my shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. Like you could hear the Hamilton music going on in the background, and he's like, I'm not throwing away. He's like, this is it. And then like suddenly here comes Heineke, and he's like, sit down, bro.
Heineke.
This is it. Man. I mean, Steven Montez. He's been here all year, and we got a guy off the couch in Norfolk, Virginia to come up and be quarterback. What does that tell you about this guy from this Montez dude?
He was so close to making it in. He was so close to making it in the game when Heineke was like, nope.
Oh, man, Ron Rivera just had to be like, I mean, just his eyes just had to turn like all white. He was just had to be so freaked out. Like, I can't believe we have to put this guy in because he obviously hasn't shown that he could start in the NFL yet.
No.
So apparently,
but
where's he from? Where's he from?
Colorado.
Yeah.
Apparently today, Ron Rivera had a press conference and he talked about how he made a mistake at quarterback. Did any of you guys catch what he said on that?
Ron Rivera made a mistake?
Yeah, he admitted it. He's like, I admitted I made the mistake with the quarterback. I should have given, I think, more guys a chance at the beginning. I didn't really read.
He should have had a quarterback competition at the beginning instead of just like.
I'm sure Dan Snyder didn't allow it to happen.
In other words, I shouldn't have let Haskins take it.
Yeah,
I should have just
pretty much. Yeah,
cut Haskins from the get-go.
Cut.
Oh my gosh,
hate Dan Snyder.
Speaking of Haskins, didn't he meet with Carolina today or yesterday or something?
I heard he did, and it was just kind of like we'll call.
They were kind of
Call you.
like, meh.
Don't call us. Don't send us a
come
text.
over.
Don't come over. Don't send us
They're
a
like,
letter.
thanks for driving that 6 hours down to Charlotte.
I don't
this
think
COVID era we're in.
That's right.
I don't think they sent out a the Panther plane to pick them up. If that's
Panther.
that's what you're gonna do. Panther plane.
The Panther plane.
So there was
Those
some.
cats.
I want to give a shout out to the people in the
Put them on the Amtrak.
in YouTube chat and in the Discord where it's really hopping. Not so much.
It is hopping in the Discord.
I can't
people.
see any of that. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, I can see it.
If- if you
Bryce
guys-
Johnson. Bryce Johnson's in there. DJ Cool 4 is in YouTube, and then our friends over in the Discord server, Sean in the injury specialist, David Herzing, Shanny. Looks like Mr. Greener D, James C, Oldie. Except it has a little sleep notification next to him. So I guess
Shanny.
Oldie is in Sweden.
yeah, he's in Sweden. So he's probably asleep. I hope.
Yeah.
Sean,
I
the
think
injury specialist, says we got stuffed crust object. They would object have gotten 8 to 10 object sacks.
What? Oh, I think he's talking about if Oh, Will the Fifth was in here. Where is he? Where's Will the Fifth? I thought he was coming on tonight.
I saw his name and he posted something and then I haven't seen anything since.
It's the ever elusive Will the Fifth.
Ever the elusive, yeah.
Will the Fifth made an appearance.
Drugs.
Sean in the injury specialist. I bet Sean in can come on and give us an update on the Heineke injury. You know, at some point. We'll give him a chance to get that together.
All right.
Anyway, if you guys want to join in the Discord server, it's starting to grow. We just, back by popular demand, we used to have a hog line for the longest time where people would call up and leave messages, and we'd put them on the podcast or use the sound bites. And we brought a channel into our Discord server where you can upload little video clips, or there's an actual hog line number again. I couldn't figure out how to keep our old hog line number, which was 77 Harry Hog. So now the number is, and it's listed in the hog line channel. The new hog line number is 202-735-1788. That's as in Doug Williams'
like
championship
DC.
in 1988. So, yeah, 202-735-1788 is the hog line, or you can just go slap in a file and upload it to Discord there for the old-fashioned hog line.
1788. And the person that comments the most wins this sweet old school Powell Peralta Ripper skateboard deck.
And Josh's hog hat.
Not really.
And not the hog hat.
You win my used hog hat. Not really.
Josh is like, I'm not giving away that hog hat.
No way,
Or
man.
the skateboard.
What are you talking about? Anyway, also
All right.
in the Discord server, they're talking about getting the HHF League going. So make sure you guys join the Discord channel where people talk about the team 24/7.
That's right.
That's right.
And you can get that Discord server is discord.gg/5YW5YFT, and the link is also on the YouTube.
Right under my neck.
Right under John's
Luckily,
face
all
on
of
YouTube.
those things are really easy to remember, so I'm sure you'll memorize all of those.
You
those
can
URLs.
pause it, replay. Anyway,
True. I guess that's what people have been doing.
the easiest place to get a hold of us though is in Discord. I gotta say, just pop in.
It is. That has been it.
Anyway, so what? John was so kind tonight to actually type up a itinerary. We're staying on it.
Or I
We're
started
staying
to.
on it. I didn't finish talking about it.
Right.
We don't have any quarterback except for Alex Smith, who I think we either need to cut or he needs to retire personally because he costs a buttload of money against the cap. And I'm sure the injuries, Sean and those guys will tell me exactly how much that is. But
Actually, I have that. I have that information here.
okay, So we've got him. Taylor Heineke is actually still on contract until March, at which point he becomes a restricted free agent, which means we get to match an offer, right? Or receive some kind of compensation.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But I mean, he's not going to get like $10 million from somebody or anything like that. He'll probably sign for like $1 million, maybe $1.5 million or something like that, and
for like a season.
And he'll be like in the
back.
competition that we're going to have, because we're going to get a quarterback.
But the question is, do you think this one game, the showing that he gave, which was a really good showing in this one game, do you think that's enough to get him a contract somewhere worth something?
Man, he was Joe Cool out there. I'll tell you that.
Dude, 1 1/4, he did more than Haskins.
I watched him play that preseason game with the Vikings. That one where he dove out and hit the pylon.
Yeah.
He was good in that game too. He's not his biggest problem. It's not he doesn't have a problem with the skill, and he can run, he can throw the ball accurately. Everything's good there. His problem is that he's injury prone. He just is, and he keeps on getting injured. He's been with 4 different teams, 2 practice squads, and 2 regular season teams before the Redskins. So the big reason he gets cut is he just gets hurt a lot. He's
fragile, man.
He's fragile. He's fragile, man.
I mean, look at him. He got injured in this game, and that hit did not look bad that he took, I got to say.
No. He's lithe, L-I-T-H-E, lithe.
I don't even know what that means, but okay.
Lithe.
He's lithe, dudes.
Lithe.
Sounds like very Nordic. That sounds like a Nordic name.
He's lithe.
He's lithe.
But that's why.
Lithe.
But that's why I think he would be a great backup, because he doesn't have to play a whole season. So yeah, I mean, he was pretty electric, and it was nice to see that he went toe-to-toe stat-wise with Brady, and he kept us within 1 score. We had the ball at the end with a chance to drive down and tie it up with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and we just couldn't get it done there at the end. I expected a little more out of the defense, but they were going against Brady, who carved him up. Like, Chase Young didn't even touch Tom Brady, not once the whole game.
Deron Payne did. He sacked him twice. And that was what they said they needed to do was to hit him right up the middle.
Yeah, that's what we needed to do, and we just didn't quite get enough penetration.
Their offensive line is really good as well in Tampa, especially that left tackle.
But were we embarrassed? No.
Mm-hmm.
No, we held our own.
It was the second coming of Taylor Heineke. It's amazing.
Will there be a third?
Well, now, so what do we have? Like Alex Smith, Kyle Allen, Heineke. And then who? And then what?
And then who?
Dude, it's Will the Fifth. It says object on our screen, but that's Will the Fifth. He's popped in.
Hang on.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Yo, what up? I see. Yo, what up, Will the Fifth? It has been a while, my man. What's happening?
Kenny Ken, thanks for putting that up. 513 yards. I didn't realize our defense gave up that much. Yeah, I did expect a lot more.
Yeah, it was a lot. Well, dude, they are doing exactly what Tampa Bay did, or that's exactly what the Patriots did a few years ago. Suddenly in December, out of nowhere, here comes Leonard Fournette. He wasn't really playing. It was September, October, November. Suddenly it starts getting cold. And the Patriots are like, here's Leonard Fournette. He's going to run right over your defense. And he ran right over us.
But he did still only have, he had 93 yards on the day.
He had 93 yards. But, man, just when you're watching the game, every time he's getting the ball, you're like, this guy's going 6 or 7 yards a carry. And he's getting first downs over and over again.
But if you look at what, I agree with that, John. If you look at that combined with what Tom Brady does with his arm, I mean, you look at those, their top 3 receivers had 79 yards, 80 yards, and 119 yards between Evans. What's the guy's name? Brate or Brate or however you say it. Brate.
Dude, Evans was tearing it up. He wasn't even supposed to play, according to John.
And thank God Godwin had 4 different drops on the day. I mean, if he had something was up with him, I mean, he wasn't catching all those balls that he should have been catching. We would have been in a lot worse shape if he had caught all those balls. I mean,
Yeah, but they would have been in a lot worse shape if Cam Sims didn't drop that ball to begin with in the very beginning. So,
Big goose eggs for Gronk. How about that?
Yeah.
let's have a celebration
Nothing for
about
Gronk.
that. We should celebrate that.
He's like, Gronk catch balls. Gronk not catch balls.
Gronk. Dude, Sean Ian, do we have the capability? Can you drag Will the Fifth into the live podcast and we can get him on here?
Oh, yeah. Kenny Ken just said if Godwin didn't drop those 4 passes, it would have been 600.
Really?
It probably would.
Going back to the Pittsburgh game, they dropped a lot of passes, and that helped us to victory. And then this game, I mean, Godwin had all those drops, but he was the only one that didn't have, I don't know, stick him on his hands. Dick's gloves.
Right. Yep.
So Sean Ian's trying to tell Will to join the channel here. I don't even see Will the Fifth on here. He came in and he left. I don't understand it. One day we'll get Will the Fifth on here.
Maybe he has bad service where he lives or where he is.
Maybe.
Back to the quarterback conversation real quick. I think, and not to like continue to beat a dead horse here. I mean, there's a lot up in the air, and that's what we keep talking about. Like, what does next year look like? Do we take a quarterback? Does Alex Smith retire? I mean, that's a big question.
That's a huge question.
And because if he does, we were talking about this earlier today, right? If he retires, that saves us a ton of cap space. I mean, he's
somewhere
gonna,
around $14 million.
Yeah. So, I mean, Alex Smith, as much as we love him and we, what he's been through, maybe it's time. And who's to say? I mean, I think he has the mentality. Now, of course, I know nothing about him from a coaching standpoint, but he seems like he would have the mentality to be a great quarterback's coach or something. I mean, he can certainly be a mentor, having done what he's done in the league. And Heineke, like you said, John, he can be fragile. Do we keep him around? I mean, when you put him in there, he's solid until he gets hurt, and then he's hurt. I mean, then you have somebody else. I don't know that it's Kyle Allen.
Yeah. I mean, Rivera's big on Kyle Allen, but I think it's still kind of up in the air on him.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So do we try to go out and get a quarterback this offseason?
I think 100% yes.
Yeah.
And Ron Rivera actually said it yesterday. He said our number one priority is getting a franchise quarterback. And I'm wondering, does that mean, can we spend the big bucks? Are we going to go after Deshaun Watson? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I'd like to see.
Or do we try to draft a quarterback?
Try to draft at 19. It's a lot of quarterbacks. This is a really quarterback rich crop.
Does Deshaun Watson? What's the likelihood that Deshaun Watson really is going to be moved from the Texans, though?
I think I'd say 75%.
That much?
Yeah. Those people, they just have bad people that own that team.
I would like Deshaun Watson. And then I would also like to spend a mid-round pick on a quarterback because, quite frankly, I'm tired of taking these dudes in the first round that either just turn out to be the second coming of DeMarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell. Is it DeMarcus?
DeMarcus. Any Marcus will do.
Or they turn out to be super fragile and have one good season with us. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd rather just spend a third-round pick. I mean, we got way more out of Kirk Cousins than we did either of Haskins or RG3, arguably. Yeah. A lot more.
And we drafted him in the 4th round.
So I say if we can get a veteran dude like Deshaun Watson to come in and then get like a 3rd/4th, maybe even as early as 2nd dude that doesn't have the pressure to be the starter right away, come in and take some time and learn the system. Let's do that. Yeah. But we need some linebackers too, dude. We need linebackers because they were non-existent. Like, you never even hear our linebacker's name get called the whole year. Like,
we need like 3 linebackers. We need like a whole brand new linebacker core. I mean, Cole Holcomb seems like he's good, but I don't know if he's a starter. Pierre Louise, this is not.
And and as we're talking about our defense, I hate to see it, but it looks like Ryan Kerrigan's probably taking his last snap. His last, run his last play as a Washington football team member. And, I hate to see that, but I do think he's got life left in him. And I think he could be good somewhere. I wish we could figure out a shift or a way to keep him in some way. I don't know if he's adaptable that way.
Who?
But
He said he wants to start.
Are you talking
So
about
what's
Ryan
the-
Kerrigan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Ryan Kerrigan.
I think that
He's gone.
The fact
He's
that he
leaving.
said he wants to start means that he's going to sign somewhere else.
I saw a video
Yeah.
of him like looking around the stadium as he was on his way out, like all like nostalgic.
all teary-eyed. Yeah, exactly.
He wants to be a starter, and I think he can be. He only played like 30-some% of our snaps and had like 5.5 sacks. I mean, he does. I have to say, Ryan Kerrigan has been a good Redskin for all the 10 years he's been here. He has the franchise record in sacks, right? Didn't he take over? Was it Manly?
Yep, from Dexter
And-
Manley. Yep,
And I mean, he's going up in the Ring of Fame. But
Yep.
he is. Yeah,
he also wants to play football, so I can't blame him for moving on. He doesn't want to be the backup. He wants to be a starter somewhere.
I agree. Some people chiming in the chat here. Kenny Ken talking about Watson moving, and it's almost mathematically impossible. That basically, he just signed his $150 million contract 10 months ago with the Texans. So if they trade him, they'd have to eat about $84 million in dead cap for the next 2 years.
wow,
84. Why did I think I saw today on that article? I posted it in the Discord room that it said he would be $10 million in dead cap.
I don't know.
Who knows?
We can check. Everybody check your numbers.
Wait, is that 84 million Canadian? Because that's like 5 million US.
Oh, Ken. The other thing is there are a couple quarterbacks. I mean, there's like 4 quarterbacks that I think will go in the top 20, right? 1 and 2 obviously are gone, and those are going to be Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, if we're talking draft. And who else is out there? We got that.
The grit that you love, man. The last time you were on here, you were talking about Trevor Lawrence. You can't go an episode without talking about Trevor Lawrence.
Dude, personally, I'm not. I think I watch him play, and I think he's good, but I'm not a huge Trevor Lawrence fan. I'll go on record and say that. He may come out and just blow everybody away. I'm just not a big fan of him. You guys probably said that I am while I haven't been on here, and that's fine and dandy. But that's not the case.
He said that you love him.
No.
And by the way, $1 equals $1.27 in Canada. 1.27 Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, so 25%, so 60 million Canadian.
I was like, I don't think that math is correct.
So I think that Mac Jones is a possibility out of Alabama. I mean, I think he could be a potential, quarterback for a Washington team. I don't know how he fits into, if you look at Alabama and the players that have come over in the past and, what we've built. We've got a lot of Alabama talent that keeps showing up on our team. And I think potentially coming out of Alabama in that program specifically, as far as like from a discipline standpoint, the type of coaching that they get, he could be an option. I mean, who's the other guy? What's that guy?
Dude, the Discord people our people in the Peanut Gallery love Trey Lance. They're
from
always
North Dakota State. Trey Lance. Yeah.
This dude's
I don't know.
He's only
about
played
that.
one season. He's played one
He's
season.
no
dude.
Carson Wentz, man. Come on.
That's all I'm saying. It's another one of those guys like Haskins that played like 1 year. I mean,
And this guy went to where is it? North Dakota State? Like Carson, isn't that where Carson Wentz went?
I don't know.
Not Alabama, not an SEC school or a top 5.
He went to North Dakota State?
Dakota State.
North
Did he
Dakota
really?
State. He's going back when he came, or whatever the saying.
So I don't know about that guy. I'm not sure what kind of guys are going to be available. Like I said, it's going to be a quarterback rich draft. So
I think those are like the 4 quarterbacks we're going to go see in the top 20 picks. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who else has even out there? That guy out of Florida, what's his name? Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask, yeah, I don't like that guy.
What about the
Jones
dude
okay.
from?
Trey Lance is okay.
Who's the BYU guy? It's supposed to be.
Oh, I can't remember that guy.
Oh,
He's
There's
yeah,
that Mond
yeah.
guy from Texas A&M, but he's going to be like a later pick. But he might.
Zach Wilson.
That guy might.
Zach
be.
Wilson, where's
Zach
he
Wilson.
going? He's
Zach
supposed
Wilson
to
from
go early,
BYU.
isn't he? Let's get
Yeah,
That
I
guy
think
was
he'll go
slinging
for-
it, man. I watched a
He'll
couple
go
of those
early,
games.
dude. I think he'll go in like top 10, maybe. You know, I don't
He
know.
was slinging it.
What's it say about him? Let me look him up.
If we can get Mac,
what's his name?
you
Zach
guys know
Wilson.
I'm not a big college football watcher. I don't even really pay attention to it until I watch all those hype videos before the draft, and they all have that same music. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the same guy like does hype videos for every prospect and puts the same music to it. But that's when
Kind
I
of like
really
the
pay
ESPN commercial music when you're streaming.
yeah. And you see like that light go through the sign like over and over and over. Anyway, I don't know what I don't know. I still think I don't know who the guy is that I would want to bring in, but my preference is to not spend big in the first round, take some quarterback in the second, third, even fourth round, and then find a veteran to lead this person.
What about Fitzmagic?
I don't know, but Sean says that I said that I loved Dwayne Haskins. When did I say that?
Last time you were on the podcast, 2018.
Aaron, you got to find that clip and play it then. When did I say I loved Dwayne Haskins? I think I said he was growing. He was growing on me.
I called it.
Fitzpatrick's going to be 40 years old as well.
Yeah, he's gonna be old. It's like another. That's like another Alex Smith. If we're gonna get a veteran dude, I think he needs to be like a top tier dude, and I don't mean Dak. We don't want a cowboy. Once a cowboy, always a cowboy. That's my opinion on that.
Although they're not going to change that offense, I'm sure he could give us some insight into playing the Cowboys and beating them.
I don't want Dak. I don't want a Dak on our team. I don't want a cowboy.
He's no actor either, man. Have you seen those stupid mattress commercials he's been doing? They're horrible. Horrible.
They're not nearly as
Forget
good as
football.
Triangle
Let's talk about
Caskets.
mattress commercials for a minute.
I'm looking through this list. I'm looking at the potential free agent quarterback list right now, and there's not a lot. Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston is probably a pretty good choice.
You look at all
get
of them,
Drew
and they're all
Brees?
like, they're almost as old as me. If you look at the list,
C.J. Beathard, his grandson, could come back to Washington.
he's like
We
30.
could get Tom Brady,
Right.
guys.
He's under contract, one more year.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought. What about Drew Brees?
I think Drew Brees is retiring whenever the
I'm
Saints
pretty
are done.
sure he is. Yeah, he's.
You think
retired.
so?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
He wants to go into the Hall of Fame as a Washington football team player, though.
I think he's gonna be a Saint.
Dude, Blake Bortles, 31. We can get
Cole
him.
McCoy's available.
Cole, pew, 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 McCoy.
Tyrod Taylor.
Isn't Cole McCoy making like $6 million this year as a backup quarterback? It's something insane like that. Something crazy.
What about we could pull Eli out of retirement?
Dude,
Bring
there's
RG3
already mock
back.
drafts.
He's a free agent.
Look, Shawnian said there's already a mock draft having us taking a tackle out of Virginia Tech
I've
in the
heard
first
that.
round.
Yeah.
And I would
Is
want. We do need to beef up our offensive line. Somehow the Schweitzer
Yeah.
brothers made it through okay this year.
That's
And-
because one of them was named Scherf when he came back from injured reserve, and suddenly they got much better because there was no Wes Martin or anybody in there. Wes freaking Martin.
And our tackles held up all right too. I mean, okay. I don't
They're
know if
all
you
right.
if you see where we ended in sacks allowed. I mean, that's usually where Josh is the stats man. So, but what was I getting at? I really do want to beef up the offensive line, like every season. It seems like I say that. And then
Yeah.
the lineback. We need linebackers.
We need like
I don't
3
think Reuben
linebackers.
Foster's come. I don't know what Reuben Foster's deal is. Like, I would hope we would, if he was healthy, he would. I think he's off contract. I don't know, but I would like to see what he can do if he can actually play.
If he can, yeah.
Cole Holcomb he seemed quiet the second half of this season. I thought he was going to take a step forward this year. Now, is this I can't explain it. Is it because our defense changed to 4-3 that we heard less from the linebackers, and the up front guys were getting more tackles, and then the defensive backs were involved more than what we've been used to with the stupid 3-4?
Dude, the linebackers just getting run by every single game.
Slow.
People were just running by them, just running right by them. Running back, boom, there he goes.
John Bostic.
Right end, boom, there he goes. John Bostic. How many times do you see John Bostic jumping after someone to tackle him and trying to wrap him up by the ankles and missing?
A bunch.
Because the guy was going for like a 30 or 40-yard gain. Golly.
It looks like
we need just a handful of linebackers.
Yeah, it looks like Sean Inn's taquitos arrived, so he's bailing right now.
Taquitos.
What?
Taquitos.
What? Food just got here, dudes. I have to eat early to eat my rolls.
To eat my egg rolls. You put rolls in
Eat
your
my
mouth.
egg
You
rolls.
put your rolls in
See you,
your
Sean.
mouth. You
Wait,
put your
injury. Anything we need
rolls
to know
in
from
your
Sean
mouth.
in our injury specialist?
Rolls in your mouth. You put the rolls in your mouth.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. All right. See you, Sean in.
Sean in, enjoy your rolls.
Enjoy your rolls.
What else we got? You were John, you put a little list together. What else we got on here?
Yellow cake.
Yellow cake.
Yellow.
Yellow cake.
Yellow cake.
Well, we signed a bunch of scrubs to the practice squad. We cut Sean Dion Hamilton. And again, another guy who's always injured. How many guys do we draft with Alan the Bruce?
How many do we have left to cut?
How many of those guys did he draft that were injured? Like, seriously injured. He was like, oh, this guy's still available. I'll get him. Oh, this guy's still available. I'll get him. Some of these guys will make it through. No, none of these guys made it through, dude. Come on.
Remember when he drafted Bacardi Rambo?
Remember when he drafted Bacardi Rambo?
Remember Fort Dix?
Do you remember Dix?
You said dicks.
Oh.
Dudes, this commercial break, I got to show you guys just to break this up for a second.
Is it
Amy, my wife,
Trying
got
to
me
guess.
these amazing Nike Metcon 6s.
Look at those.
They look very
For Christmas,
Redskins-esque.
They're custom. They say on the tongue, they say, keep going, keep going. But yeah, she did well, man. Look at that. All the burgundy and gold.
Did she design those herself? Like, can you go on a website
Yes.
and pick different things?
Wow.
Yes,
check that
Nike
out.
by me. Look at that, man.
Nike by me. Oh, can you
Yes.
make one foot different than the other, or do they have to be the same?
They have to be the same on this.
Ah.
But you can choose every little bit, like the heel cup, the colors of all of this, the interior colors, the shoelaces, the
That's
the
crazy.
mesh stuff. Yeah,
Wow. That's insane.
super sweet.
Good job, Amy.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I thought I'd show
definitely.
those off.
And now on this commercial break, we're going to hear from our sponsor for this week, Triangle Casket Store. Take it away, Josh.
All right, ready? Choose the one Uncle John would love. Go to the folks who are cut above with 30 models on the floor with Triangle Casket Store. A Triangle Casket Store. We care about you. Hold on. You say there's an urn that you can't find. We'll sell you that urn and some peace of mind. We've got caskets, urns, and more. Triangle Casket Store. Triangle Casket Store, the official casket store of the Washington football team.
Now remember, Josh, not only does he write and sell these jingles to like grocery store chains and casket stores and things, but he also wrote the theme song to the original Wonder Woman sitcom.
Dude, I'm not that old. To the original Wonder Woman's theme song. Dun, 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 dun. That one.
In your satin tights, doing what is right.
I only consulted on the remastering of that.
All right. What about? All right. David Herzing is bringing up Stafford as a possible quarterback.
Rights.
How old is Stafford? First of all, he seems like he's been around for an awful long time.
And $20 million cap hit next year.
Do we like him that much?
The guy's got a huge arm, but I don't know. I don't know.
I really don't know.
He's a big dude.
You know who else we need? Another receiver.
we could get Derek Carr from the Raiders. Maybe they'll trade for a wing and a prayer.
It's almost like it's a Tuesday night and we're sitting around deciding where we want to go for dinner, and no one's really enthused about it.
It's like we can get Mexican food. I'm not really into that tonight.
That
How about some
week.
Thai food? I don't really want Thai food. Does that really sound good? Well, let's just stay here and fend for ourselves, man.
That's what it's like. The
It's pretty
quarterbacks
much
that are
what it's
available.
like.
You know, unless I don't know. Anyway, what else is on this itinerary before we give our game balls and kicks in the balls for both the game and for the season?
Couple other quarterback traders, traders, not traitors. Teddy Bridgewater, $18 million cap hit. Sam Darnold has a $4.7 million cap hit. If anyone wants to kick the tires on that. Matt Ryan, 23. Garoppolo, 25.5.
No.
Yeah. It's not, I don't know.
I really don't know.
Yep. We'll have to see.
Tim Tebow is available.
Tim Tebow is available if you want to get him off the Port St. Lucie Mets.
He's playing for what is that? What is the Port St. Lucie Mets?
It's a single A team.
In Florida.
Yeah.
Like a single A baseball team?
Yeah. Tim Tebow he joined the Mets. He plays in their minor league systems.
I did not know that. Port St. Lucie, man. That's where our friend Ed lives, Aaron.
I thought he lived in somewhere named Stewart or something.
He lives in Stewart, which is literally like 5 miles or something from Port St. Lucie.
Oh, sweet.
Dude, do we want to go ahead and grade Rivera on how we did the season, how everything turned out with that? I think that would sum up this podcast nicely, and then we can go right into the games and kicks, or we can do that. We can do that at the end.
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
You want me to go
Grade
first?
him up.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm going to give him an A for his dealing with all the junk this season. He dealt with cancer, A. He dealt with Dan Snyder's scandals coming to light.
Dealing.
He dealt with COVID-19 situation. He dealt with the Dwayne Haskins situation. He dealt with 4 quarterbacks getting injured or cut. He dealt with Dwayne Haskins Strippergate. He
reversed negative culture in the organization.
He dealt with all that.
He dealt with all the guys that he cut, like Geis.
Dwayne Haskins.
He dealt with Geis.
Haskins.
I almost forgot about the Geis situation.
You got rid of Geis and that defensive back guy or quarterback or I don't know, wide receiver, I think. I don't know. He's gone now.
And then he took all these dudes and he was able to somehow, even though it wasn't a perfect season, got us a division title that we haven't had since 2015 with all of that stuff happening. His projected starting running back and projected starting quarterback are no longer on the team, and we still won the division.
How about that?
So he gets an A in my opinion. All while fighting cancer.
What kind of an A? What kind of an A?
I'm giving him an A+.
Wow.
A for effort. There are some things he could have done better, like don't even get me going on the 2-point conversion call in the Giants game. But I'm giving
little things like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, John. You want to go? I'll go last.
All right. I give him an A+ for everything that Aaron said. I mean, just the entire list and dealing with all the cancer, COVID, Haskins, quarterbacks.
Geis.
You know, all of Dan Snyder's things going on with him, or he may or may not lose the team. More Haskins. Too much Haskins. And Geis and all those guys that he had to cut.
Oh, don't forget, when he first started, he was also dealing with the Trent Williams situation.
Oh, yeah, he had to deal with Trent Williams. He dealt with the name change.
Oh, my gosh, we forgot about that.
How
He had
about
to deal
that,
with all
man?
that?
Name
Good
change.
Lord.
Name change.
The name change. He had to deal with that.
The firing
You know,
of
with
Larry.
But he earned it.
Larry.
Whatever it was, he earned it.
And
When he
Larry's
was
gone
hired,
too.
it was probably like people were like, "You got to be crazy to go take that job," and they had no idea about all this other stuff that was going to happen this year.
Man.
No, they were just talking about the normal stuff that was.
They're
messed up
talking about
the
like
team.
dealing with the office and the whole. There's going to be a name controversy and Dan Snyder, all this other stuff, pandemic, Haskins, all these other things. I mean,
Nice.
cancer, quarterbacks
Cancer.
that have half a leg. I mean, it's like so much crazy stuff. I give him the A+ too. We could be picky, like you were saying. I mean, like we could question a couple of calls, which I think he was really trying to just go out and like, we're here to win, play that kind of thing. I do question some end of the half clock management. I feel like we could, but I always say that we can make better use of the end of the half, sometimes. But how picky are we going to be? I mean, look at everything you had to face.
Especially early.
I'm glad we have him. I'm glad we have him.
I wanted
Me
to bring
too.
that up. Though. It seemed like he had a change of. I think in the beginning of the year, he was kind of like, we're just going to see what we have this year. And then
Right.
somewhere in the middle, when we started winning those 4 or 5 games in a row, he was like, we could win this thing. And like changed his tune. Do you notice that? Because in the beginning, there was all that stuff where we're like, what is he doing with clock management? Like, he's not even really trying to win these games,
Right.
And then that switched over.
That's when it switched over to them saying, why not us? I mean, I think he was thinking that a number of games ago, and it just kept getting more real, and then eventually they picked up on it. And then the past couple of weeks, they've been saying that. Why not us? Why not us?
Yep.
So
anyway, yeah, that's what I say. I'm looking in the peanut gallery to see what kind of rating they're giving Rivera, and I don't see anyone posting about that at this point.
nobody is objecting now. It doesn't say object anymore.
And no one's objecting.
Object.
I object.
Object.
I object.
No one's objecting.
Cool.
Object. His brother does it.
What else we got?
We got to go in our games and kicks.
Games and kicks.
Let's do
It's
it.
time for this week's Kicking the Balls Award.
This week's kick is brought to you by Rid-a-Poo. You need to rid your poo? Call Rid-a-Poo. All right, go ahead, Josh.
Gross.
When you're stopped up and don't know what to do, that's the time to call Rid-a-Poo. All right.
So you need to give your kick for the game and your kick for the season. Game and season.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I gotta give them both. All right. Gosh, for the game, I'm gonna say probably what's his name? Sims the Elder for the drop that he should have caught that pass. I mean, it's tough to be picky in this game because I just kept being amazed that we were doing so well with Heineke and everything that was going on. For the season, Dwayne Haskins. And it's because I felt like he had so much. Do I even need to say?
You don't have to.
I mean, do I even need to say?
I don't think you have to explain.
Not at all.
I just want to explain a little bit, and I feel like
No,
it's
you
such opportunity.
needed to explain when you gave Sean Taylor the kick. You don't have to explain this one.
Why did I kick Sean Taylor?
Because someone broke into his house and stabbed him and he couldn't play.
No shot him, dude.
Shot him. Sorry.
Dude, you have to like rip off old Band-Aids here.
We didn't find the sound clip, which one day I'm gonna do. One day I'm gonna find the sound clip. We're like Josh Harsh. He got shot. He couldn't.
Okay. All right. But Dwayne Haskins had such opportunity to do things. And, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I don't think it's all totally his fault, but I'm still kicking him because he needed to overcome and grow the heck up. He needed to be a grown up. Some people just aren't able to do that though. Like some people come out of college and they're living the party life and there's no growing up. It takes them years to make that happen. When they get thrust into this league where they're getting paid so much money and suddenly they're on this like national stage, they think they got to go and live the big life. They made it big, but really what they're not focusing on is why they're here. And that's to play this game. And he needed to do that and he didn't. That's why I'm kicking him. And it's because he had the opportunity to do that and to overcome that himself. So many people overcame so many things. He needed to overcome that and just grow up a little bit and he would have been okay, but he couldn't do it. So that's why he's getting the kick. Dwayne Haskins.
All right, John, go ahead.
Man,
nobody even broke into his house and stabbed him or anything or shot him. He just needed to overcome that.
And he couldn't do it.
I thought for sure you were going to give it to Reuben Foster for being injured the whole year.
All right.
Alex Smith for the injured calf.
Well, my kick for the game goes to Ronald Darby, Trent Darby.
Terrence.
Yeah. I mean, that guy, I don't know if both those touchdowns were his fault, but it sure looked like they were again.
Will he be on the team next year?
He's a free agent, so I don't know.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
We're going to have to go over all that next episode.
Yeah, we'll go through that in the future. But yeah, he's free agent. So he gets my kick for this game. Kick for the year. Dwayne Haskins. And give Theismann his damn jersey.
Oh yeah.
Wait, why do you?
That's another reason.
Oh yeah, look at that. He totally took the jersey and then basically left a stain on it. He left a stain on that number, and it's not a good kind of stain.
That's a good reason to give him a kick.
Are there good stains?
I'm mad about that.
Theismann should be mad.
I think Theismann should be the maddest of all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when he asked if he could wear it because somebody told him he had to ask?
Yeah. Otherwise, he's just like, what?
And Theismann gave him an answer where it was more like, one of those answers that most people pick up on, like he doesn't really want me to wear it, but he was so unaware, like he is in the pocket, that he didn't pick up on it. Theismann basically said, I think you might want to start your own legacy.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah.
In other words, the kid's like,
really thanks, dude.
Thanks. He said I could wear it.
And he's like, in other words, try number 8, like a lot of other quarterbacks that haven't done very well.
Not number 4, like Heineke.
Dude, I can't really narrow down who I'm going to give my kick to for the game to. So I'm just going to give it to the entire defense for giving up 31 points and over 500 yards and not keeping. I mean, it was weird. It was like the defense has kept us in the game the entire season, and then all of a sudden we have a quarterback who's only played a quarter come in and keep us in this game.
Right, yeah.
So
well, dude, it was primarily our secondary. I mean,
all right. Well, I'm giving it to the entire defense.
I mean, almost 400 yards given up in the secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my kick for the season is going to Haskins for a lot of the reasons that you guys pointed out, but also for taking a selfie while he was supposed to be on the field hiking the ball.
It's like we've each come up with what's made us the most mad about him.
Wait, was that this year or last season? I don't remember.
That was last season.
Oh, I got to come up with a reason for this year. Okay, stripper.
What do you mean while he was supposed to be hiking the ball?
He was supposed to be like downing the ball, like out
victory
there as the
formation.
quarterback, like downing it
At
to
the end of
finish
the
the game,
game.
and instead he was taking a selfie with some fan.
Yes.
Did he actually go out and finish?
No, he missed. I think Colt McCoy or someone had to come in and hike the ball because they couldn't find him because he was off taking a selfie with a fan.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Look up Dwayne Haskins and selfie.
Yeah, dude. But the other reason is for Strippergate
Oh yeah, yeah.
and putting the entire team at risk not following COVID
Right.
regulations.
For
when he
putting
already
his
sucks.
coach, who just had cancer, at risk.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes me more mad than anything.
And for being a lip licker.
If you're being a lip licker.
Also, he's the new odd body. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Are we done with our kicks for the year? Let's see what they have in the peanut gallery. Peanut gallery. Well, object gives his to kick of the year. That is object gives his to Geis. Who is it? It's not popping up on my screen. Yeah, it's not popping up on my screen for some reason.
Hold on, I'm gonna look.
It's David Herzing. David Herzing gives his to Geis, and I gotta get that fixed for next week. I don't know why it says object.
Where do you see? Oh, there it is. Kick of the year goes to Geis. I see that.
And
He
over
says,
in the YouTube
he seems
chat
like such a wiener. Or his
Eric
brother
Carr
does.
seems like such a wiener.
DJ Cool Ford.
Nope.
Give one.
You're a wiener, dude.
All right.
Dude, you're really like a wiener, or your brother is at least.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's all. I think that's all the kicks for the years that we've gotten to give out because everyone else bailed early while Sean's eating his pizza rolls. You put a roll in your mouth. You put a roll in your mouth.
In your mouth. All right. Game ball.
Come to
Game
my
ball, game
house
ball,
and
game
watch a
ball.
pizza roll.
Heineke. Does anybody else want to give anybody else a game ball?
I'll give mine.
Heineke.
Heineke.
He threw for 300 yards, man. He only had one pick. That wasn't his fault.
And a rushing and a passing touchdown.
Yeah. And
It was
a
his fault. He got it
fantastic
tipped.
rushing touchdown.
It was totally his fault. He got it tipped.
You know what they called him on Reddit, on the Washington Reddit sub?
What? Reddit.
Vanilla Vic.
Vanilla Vic.
They were calling him a Vanilla Vic because he was running the ball so much and doing a really good job with it.
That's so racist, dude. Keep that off here.
I apologize. I did not say it. I just read it on there.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to catch on.
I don't either. Okay, so Heineke is getting our collective game ball, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't give it to our running backs.
Yeah.
When's the last time anybody gave a game ball to Jeremy Reeves?
Payne did have a huge game.
Payne had a huge game. Jeremy Reeves had a huge game.
Jeremy Reeves had a big game. I mean, he led in tackles on this game.
Dude, he's been coming on strong the last few weeks. We did point him out a few weeks ago. And it's also why we have all these young guys that are contributing, him and Cameron Curl and all those guys that I'm excited about next year. Because it's when you get dudes like that you can build a team and not have to rely on overpaid free agents for every position that never work out because they're there to collect a paycheck as they glide into retirement. So I'm excited about these dudes.
Glide.
We don't need to get into that. We don't have to get into that on this long episode. This is like our longest episode ever.
It might be.
All right, so let's go ahead and move into our games for the year. We didn't play the music, did we?
Play the music,
Oh,
dude.
dude.
And now, the coveted and ever elusive Game Ball Award.
All right, the Game Ball Awards for the season. And we'll start with John.
Oh,
Oh?
John, you're up.
John, you're out of time. Josh.
Josh, if you have one, go ahead.
My game ball is going to Chase Young for the season. He came in strong. You know I love the defensive players, and it's just good to see like a super strong predator edge rusher. Watch him work. I know in this game it was tough. He had a tough game this game, didn't get as much out of it, but the whole season, he's proven that he's a leader. He's always jabbing. I love seeing him on the sideline. I don't care, if he's on the field or off. His head is always in the game, and he's like one of those guys that is going to just encourage you no matter what time of the game it is. I feel like some guys leave the field and they go over there and sit down, drink their Gatorade, and just kind of like don't think about things for a few minutes in between. Not Chase Young. His head's in the game the whole time. He gets the game ball.
He's a leader.
Oh, yeah.
A leader.
All right, go ahead, John. Tress
game ball for this game.
We already gave that to Heineke, dude.
We already did that.
Oh, yeah. Mine went, my game, I know. My game ball for the year. My game ball for the year goes to Alex Smith, because I think most fans never ever thought we would ever see him play ever again. And he came in when Dwayne Haskins faltered, and we really did, and Kyle Allen faltered, and we didn't really have anywhere else to go. And he came in and he saved the season.
You were actually adamant that we would never see him play again.
That's why I think he's hurt more than they've let us know.
Well, dude, if you watch that documentary and you see some of the
pictures of his leg, it's crazy.
Awful.
All right, that's a good one. I was going to give Alex Smith my game ball for the year, but since you did, I'm going to have to give mine to Ron Rivera for all the reasons we mentioned earlier, that everything he had to deal with to try to turn this 3-13 team around with all that baggage, and he accomplished it. We've righted the ship, so it's only bigger and better things I see coming in the near future for this team. So I'm pretty pumped about that. We're no longer the joke of the NFL.
I think our free agent people, not only do we have a lot of free agent money, I think there's going to be like free agents who will look at us differently than they would look at us in the past. Because I was like, people would not come here because it was Club J.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to change.
And people, and I made that point, I think, or maybe I said it to you when people were saying, well, if we lose this game, we get a higher draft pick. And I was like, if we win this game, we're going to get more interest from veteran players that saw that we were able to do this with all this adversity. So
it's like, and look at their defense, and man, if they can get a quarterback, it might be a good team to go to, kind of thing.
Yeah. So, there's trade-offs. Anyway, all right, so that's the games and kicks for the season. And Alex, David Herzing is still in the chat room. An hour and 20 minutes later? This is really the content that we put on this one podcast equals all the pregame shows on NBC Sports Washington the whole year with all their commercials.
Absolutely.
We had only one commercial for Triangle Casket Store in an hour and 20 minutes, and one for Ritapoo. But anyway.
And a mini Ritapoo commercial, yeah.
Anyway, I think that pretty much rounds it out. We'll talk to you guys next week. Maybe we might take a week off. Who knows? We'll see. We'll announce it in the Discord room and on Twitter.
In Discord chat room, man.
I love you guys, man.
We love you too.
Love you too, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's refreshing to hear your voice.
It's refreshing to hear Will. That about rounds it out for the season. NFC East champion, Washington Redskins football team. Thanks for joining us. Meet up in the Discord room. We're going to do podcasts on and off throughout the off season as necessitates the news, as the news necessitates.
Necessitates?
Necessitates. Is that the right word?
No. Is that a word?
I think you meant necessitates or
necessitates.
Or resuscitates.
As the news resuscitates.
Or Nestle Quicks.
Anyway, you can reach us on our Discord channel, which the link is right here on the YouTube page. You can listen in YouTube and TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts. You can send us an email at, what is it? HHFpodcast@gmail.com is the new one.
There you go.
The Hog Line. Leave us a message, 202-735-1788. Is that about it? Twitter @HarryHog. I'm out of breath. We'll talk to you guys next week. Hail to the Redskins Washington football team. And as always, if you see a Cowboys fan,
Joker!
Joker!